Making decisions without certainty. Welcome to day 16 of my 30-day self-trust challenge. Today's about building self-trust. So there's so many moments where I wish I could know for sure that I'm making the right decision as a parent, in my work, even in my own body. But self-trust hasn't come from getting it right. It's come from seeing over and over that I can handle what comes next. And that's what self-trust is all about. Isn't trusting the decision necessarily, is trusting yourself within that decision. So it means deciding without guarantees and trusting that you can adjust based on what happens. So the invitation for today is to make one small decision without over researching it. Okay. So that's trusting yourself. When I bought my first house, oh my God, 25 years or more ago, um, I walked into the house and I bought the first house that I saw. I said, that is the one I want. And my realtor, I can remember like taking me around and making sure, showing me other properties. But I went back to that number one house because I trusted how I felt when I went into that space. Someone that doesn't have self-trust will be the person that has to look at 40 different houses, before they can make a decision. Then they end up buying the house that looks just like the house they grew up in. So those are examples of self-trust. Another example of, making a decision without certainty. It might be like you're signing up for a class or something and you hover over, the join button on the program, something you've been thinking about, and then that inner dialogue starts going like, what if this isn't the right one? What if it's a waste of money? What if I don't, keep motivated and stay with the program? You want certainty before you commit and you want to know it's going to work. But self-trust looks like I don't need guarantees. I trust myself I'm going to learn something anyways. Because the safety isn't in that decision. The safety is within us, right? So this whole 30-day challenge is to help you start to see that you can trust yourself. So the invitation today is to make one small decision without over researching it, okay? So I'll give you another example. Um, eating without knowing the perfect choice. Somebody might be hungry, they might open the fridge, and then their brain starts going with, okay, what's the best choice? What macro didn't I meet today? How can I get more fiber? And it goes on and on and on because you're trying to guarantee the outcome. Okay, I'm doing something that's good for myself. I'm going to feel good after. But self-trust looks like I'll choose something that feels good right now, and then if I'm still hungry, I can eat later. I can eat again. And self-trust removes that pressure to get it perfect. So that's looking at self-trust as knowing that we can decide or we can choose how we adjust after we've made that choice. So again, the invitation today is to make one small decision without over researching it, okay? And trust yourself. And if today feels hard, I want you to remember that uncertainty is part of trust building, right? So we can't know the outcome of everything, but if we start to trust ourselves and know that we're going to be able to adjust no matter what happens, that's building that self-trust muscle that we're working on this month. So I'll share another story example with you, just to give you an idea. So for myself, when I come online and I want to share stuff, it could look like, I don't know how it's going to be received. So I don't know if anyone's going to resonate or respond, or I don't know if they're going to misunderstand what message I'm trying to relay. And there's that voice inside that says, wait till it's clearer, wait till you're more sure, wait until you know it's going to land good. But that's not going to help me grow in my profession, or that's not going to help me help as many people, right? So for me, self-trust has looked like showing up and sharing anyways. So this challenge might not land with everyone, but I'm trusting that the right people are going to get the information that they need from it. And it's not because I know it'll work. It's because I trust myself enough to know, okay, this is worthwhile. I felt called to do this challenge based on lots of females saying, I want to work with you, but I don't trust myself that I'm actually going to do any of the implementation, or I can't make those changes. Okay. But I trust myself to handle what comes next, to clarify, to repair, to grow. So again, self-trust isn't about knowing the outcome, but it's being willing. It's being willing to step in and then know that we can deal with what happens next. Okay, so come back tomorrow for day 17.